Hi everyone, welcome back to Pine Hollow Auto Diagnostics. Today we have a 2007 Toyota Camry, very reliable vehicle. The customer has a complaint. It has to do with the instrument cluster. She says she's driving down the road and then the gauges just go crazy. The tachometer needle starts going up and down. The speedometer drops to 0. Sometimes the coolant gauge goes up and down. Very weird symptoms. Also the ABS light comes on, and I think the traction control. So hopefully it's happening right now. Well, it was a second ago. Let's see, shut it off. Now my camera lens is a little dirty, sorry about that. Alright, here we go. RPMs are all over the place. The car's definitely on. ABS light came on. The brake light came on, even though our parking brake is not on. Okay. Hey, brake light went away, ABS light went away. RPMs are back to normal. Okay, so it acted up there for a minute. Now it's back to normal. So let's do a diagnosis. This is a weird one. I've never seen this one before. Alright, we did a full code scan, and the only codes that came up was for the tire pressure monitor. You know, the little blinky light, not really worried about it, just a couple sensors that are not reporting. However, we do not see the ABS module anywhere in this list. How strange is that? Very strange. What if we go right to the ABS module? Now this thing does not have traction control, so this is just ABS only. Display codes. Uh-oh. The U0073 control module communication bus off. Why was that not picked up in the code scan initially? So what I want to do is turn on the data display and run the car and see if it loses communication. Because how can we explain the instrument cluster going crazy when the ABS module seems to be dropping out? Well, welcome to the world of networks. If one module goes nuts and interrupts the network and goes on and off, then it could interrupt the signals going to the cluster, even though the cluster is not really at fault. But we have to prove that conclusively before firing the part scan or doing anything else. So let's just make a custom list. Got all the wheel speeds, vehicle speed, list view. Okay, let's fire it up. Everything looks good. And we'll see if we just lose communication. Alright, here we go. Everything looks good. All the wheel speeds are showing fine. Car's driving great. So intermittent problems like this can really eat up a lot of time because you set up all your tools, you plug everything in, and the car just drives perfectly. Yeah. Well, unfortunately, it's not acting up, and I don't want to spend too much time here. Customers waiting. Let's go online and just do a quick search on crazy Camry cluster and see if anyone else had the same problem. But I really wanted to make this thing act up and catch it in the act, maybe hook up a scope to the network. But right now, everything's communicating. And if we run our code scan, let's see if it picks up the ABS module. Transmission. Okay, this time it actually talked to the ABS. Before it did not. U0073. Alright, here, thanks to YouTube, found a video that shows the exact same symptoms. So here the tach's jumping around, even the temperature gauge came down, the brake light is on, and the ABS light is also on, not the check engine light. Like the D indicator. So everything goes berserk. And the fix is replacing the ABS module. Now again, you might ask, what kind of diagnosis is that? But sometimes we have to go that way, and you know, if it's a very intermittent problem, even though the customer, it happens all the time, when she comes here, most of the time it doesn't happen. Kind of ironic. So we got a new or a used ABS module on eBay, and we're just gonna pop it in and she's gonna drive it. And since the diagnosis isn't 100%, you know, definitive, I'll let her drive it, and if it doesn't glitch for a week, then she'll pay me for the parts and labor and the diagnostics. So that's my policy. If you know I can't 100% prove it and I'm forced to fire the parts cannon, I still want the customer to have a guarantee that you know they're paying for guaranteed repair. So let's put in the new ABS module. Okay, so right now there's no comm with the ABS module right there. And if we start up the car, yes, we have the needle jumping up and down. Excellent. So we proved that. Let's try again. Display codes, no comm, needle's going up and down. Last thing I want to do is hook up the pico scope and actually see what's going on in the network signals, if we can catch that glitch. Okay, so we have the pico scope set up. Breakout box, pins 6 and 14 on the high-speed network. Here's what we have. And the ABS module is, looks like it's on because the ABS and brake lights are not on. However, we can still drop our time base here. Let's put a trigger on channel A. Okay, it's happening. See that pattern? So now we have to wait until it comes back online, see what a good pattern looks like. I want to bump this up to, let's see, 5 milliseconds. Okay, stop that. Come on. So let's save this as known bad. Toyota Camry 2007, 2.4. This is pin 6, pin 14. This is ABS. Dropping out. No comm. Okay, save that. And we'll just do the current waveform so we don't overload the files. I'm going to say bad. Okay, save that guy. So let's just take a peek here. What exactly is happening? So our voltage levels, first of all, are just weird. That does not look like a good CAN signal at all. Now that the ABS module is back online, let's record again. So this is a good CAN signal. Nice square waves, and the levels are 1.5 to 2.5 on the red trace, and on the blue 2.5, and it should be to 3.5. Okay, it's about a 1 volt difference. Let's save that. This is ABS. Good. Save. Just the current waveform. Excellent. So look how clean the line is between the data packets. And again, the levels of the zero lines are 2.5 on the blue and 2.5 on the red. And the blue goes up, the red goes down. That's what we expect. That is a good, clean CAN signal. Again, it's back to normal. Now let's just open up the bad one. Bad. And look what's going on right here. This is in between the data packets, and the whole time the communication is just going crazy. It's basically trying to talk nonsense and interrupting the network. No wonder our cluster is going out. Basically right there is just super glitchy. We can measure the levels. It goes from 2.5 to 1. Drops all the way down to, let's see, 1 there, or 1.5 to see, 1.5 to 3.8. So just garbage. That's not a good, clean CAN signal whatsoever. Look at that. Let's record again. Let's do 100% zoom. So it's acting up. And we'll see what happens when maybe it'll come back to life. Or we can go outside and unplug the ABS module and see what happens here. Oh, I just came back. See how the waveform changed dramatically? Now we have discrete data packets instead of all that garbage. Very cool. I mean, it would be nice if, while it's acting up, I go out there and unplug it, and if it comes back to this, you know, that will be a definitive diagnosis. Or we can just go unplug it and see if the waveform stays about the same. We can even, let's see here. Let's do plus or minus 5. And plus or minus 5 there. Okay. Separate them out a little bit and drop our time base down like that. I just wanted to act up one more time. It was doing it beautifully before. Okay. I'm just going to go out and unplug the ABS module, see what happens. So nothing really changed there, but the ABS and brake lights came on. So that's enough evidence for me to replace the module and be confident in the diagnosis. That module is just taking down the network. It's not like a power or ground issue where it's dropping offline. It's actually corrupting the data going to everything else. So in that case, I mean, yeah, you could try to tear it apart, find a cracked solder joint or something, but in this case we're just going to install the used one and maybe tear apart the old one if we have time. So here's our ABS module. Easiest place to change it. I already got the connector undone. And here's the new one we got off of eBay. It comes with the pump, but we're just replacing the little black box. The magic black box should be very easy. Just 4 screws and swap it over. Alright, a little spray for good luck. And it's a weird E5 bit on these screws. They come out nicely. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Speed up the process with our driver. They're pretty long, so if you do it by hand, it might take a while. Ooh, very cool. What do we see inside here? Well, it's just circuit board with these coils that the current runs through there. It'll actually push or pull those valves, I guess, That activates or deactivates the ABS. So pretty neat. And then we got 2-prong. I want to know what this thing is right here. These 2 prongs. Looks like they go straight in between. Maybe? That looks so bizarre. I have no idea what that is. But if they're contacts, they need to make contact? Great question, but let's put the new one on. Well, here's the old one. Here's the new one. Visually, they are identical. I don't see any signs of bad stuff. And apparently, to take this guy apart, you actually need to like rip it open. I think this cap is glued and all the circuits are on that side. But let's pop this guy on and see what happens. Alright, bolt it on. Last step. Connector looks pristine. We're not gonna touch it. Just blow everything off. And that's it. Installed. Not too hard. Let's jump back in the car and see if it works. All right. So that's good CAN signal. Everything's happy. No bad warning lights. Now let's plug in the scanner. We can actually put it right into the breakout box and you know, scan for codes. Talk to this thing. Make sure the new one works. Okay, did another full code scan. Now, the instrument panel cluster comes up with a history code, lost communication with brake system control module. Okay, well, we can delete that one. Not a problem. Current codes, should be nothing in the current, and history codes. U0129. Let's just delete that guy. Yes. Continue. And everything else should be perfect. No codes present. Let's just look at the data, take it for a quick test drive, make sure it's good to go, and we'll have a happy customer. Wheel speeds. Alright. Alright, we're out on the open road. We've got our wheel speeds showing, our CAN signals. Let's go. Drives beautifully. I like it. No issues. Fixed. Alright, I think that should wrap it up. Car drives beautifully, no issues, no glitches. Fantastic. Last thing, just display codes once again, just in case. No codes present. And we're good. So, thanks a lot for watching. And see everyone next time. Bye-bye. Alright, a little bonus footage on this ABS module. Yes, I want to tear it apart. So I cut around the perimeter with an X-Acto knife. It's some kind of silicone sealant. And I just want to pry this thing open. Definitely not a serviceable item. at least not easily. Alright, finally got the pry bar under the lid. Let's open this can of worms. Alright. What do we see in here? We've got some big power transistors that I'm pretty sure control those coils. We have some sensitive electronics. And the connector is right here on this side. But in this case, if you don't see anything obviously burned or pitted or anything, and the problem was on the actual network itself, the module just wasn't doing the right thing to the CAN signals, basically corrupting the network. And I mean, that's all done by these integrated circuits, and there's not much you can do to fix it short of replacing it. That's a shame, you know. I always like to at least attempt to repair things before you know, replacing parts, but in this case, that's the only way to go. The only thing you might ask is, well, can't I just leave the module unhooked? Nope. In this case, the speed sensor, or the car's you know, speedometer and everything else, gets its speed through the ABS module. So unfortunately, if you unhook it, your speedometer's at 0, you're not counting miles, your transmission probably uses some limp mode, you know, with the input-output sensors, but all the lights will stay on. So the only real thing to do here is replace the stupid module, unfortunately. If it was my own car, you know, I'd probably do the same thing, even though I don't really care for ABS. On my own truck, I disconnected the thing a long time ago and it's perfectly happy. But that's it. Hope you enjoyed the bonus footage, and see you guys next time. Bye-bye.